So let's start. I will just use this, okay, to take notes. We will be taking notes on this blank page on TradingView. So mindset, okay, mindset. The most important aspect of trading, okay, is the mindset, okay. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of profitable trading strategies, okay. You can be profitable trading moving averages, you can be profitable trading line charts, you can be profitable trading my strategy, you can be profitable trading absolutely anything, okay? What differentiates a good trader from a bad trader, okay, or a profitable one, consistent one from one who's not, all always comes down to the mindset, okay? To the mindset and money management, but most importantly, the mindset, okay? So why do you guys think most of the traders fail? In terms of mindset or in terms of anything, why do you guys think most traders fail? Let's see on the chat. Come on, let's see if you guys are interactive today. I will just put an example. Okay, okay, very good. Revenge trading, that's one for sure. Let's just start. What you guys believe make people fail? So somebody said revenge trading. I will just start taking down the ones I believe apply to this topic. Revenge trading, FOMOing, over trading, revenge trading, FOMOing, greed, over trading, no patience, no plan, no patience, no plan. False expectations, very good one. All of them are great. All of them make complete sense. Now we will look into them and how you can overcome this. Too emotional. Impulsive. Risk management, lack of risk management. Not trusting their own setups. No discipline. Predicting instead of reacting. I also like this one actually. Over leveraging. Okay, we are getting way too many, but it's good, it's good, it's good. Lack of knowledge, exactly. I was looking for this one. And come on, a few more I will take down. Holding the trade for too long. Yes, this one enters into false expectations. There's like two branches for false expectations. One of them is holding the trades for too long, expecting for price to do crazy stuff. Okay, so that one enters over there. no skills, also lack of knowledge. Let me just actually, lack of knowledge, skills. Okay, let's just focus on this one. Okay, this pretty much covers very well everything that makes a trader fail. Okay, this list right here, pretty much, my opinion, we might be missing one or two things, but way more than enough for me to share the point I want to share with you. Okay, so falling onto any of this is totally normal. Okay, when you start trading, most of the times when you start trading, you are literally just falling for each and every single one of these. As a beginner trader, you are revenge trading, you are following into your trades, you are over trading, you don't have patience, you don't have a plan, you have false expectations. As a beginner trader, you are falling literally into all of these things. Okay. Therefore, the first point I want to share is that you must acknowledge that this is a journey, that this is a process, okay? Let me just take this down. And just, this is a topic we also cover on the Elite course, which is acknowledge the process. Okay? This is a process. The first day, sorry, somebody has the mic on, but I'm not sure how that's happening. Everyone should be silenced. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that this is a process. This is a process that takes time, okay, and takes loads of self-improvement, loads of failure, and loads of practice, okay? I say, when you start trading at the beginning, you will be falling onto all of this. You have to understand the market is designed to trick you. Hold on, let me. Okay, the market is designed to trick you. When you enter into trading for the first time, when you're a beginner trader, you really want to skip the process, and you are not that aware that the market is really designed to trick you. The market is created for people to fall into all of this, okay? That is really how people make money and why most of the people lose, because the market is designed in a way, liquidity, the way price moves and so on, to make everyone fall onto this, to fall onto these traps, okay, which as a beginner trader is totally normal, but if you acknowledge it's a process and you start ticking off each one of these, so for example, after some time practicing, you don't revenge trade anymore, after some time practicing, you don't FOMO into your trades, after some time practicing, you don't overtrade, you have patience, you develop a plan, you are aware of how the market works, and you are not setting yourself false expectations. So you must be aware the market is designed for you to fall into this stuff. So please, please, please do not fall into the traps. Okay, the market is all the time trapping people, making people believe one thing when actually will happen the other. It's literally how it's designed. Therefore, do not fall onto that. And most importantly, acknowledge this is a process. Okay, this is a process. Let's just put a timeline. Let's say this was a timeline. Okay. You are here, you are right here, and let's say you're a beginner trader, this is your first live account, and once you're here, you will be falling onto all of these traps, okay? You have false expectations, you will be over trading, you will be mostly having, apart from everything else, which is obvious, you will be having false expectations. Therefore, This is the beginning, and right here at the end of your, well, this journey never ends, okay? This journey never ends. But let's say right here, you've been 4 years into trading, okay? So at the beginning of all, you are falling onto all of the traps, absolutely all of them. By here, you won't be falling into that many traps, or you will be aware of all of these traps, you will be aware of all of these reasons why you failed, and you will try to not fall into them as much as you can, okay? So the problem most of traders have is that, let's say this is a 4-year span. First year, they are already expecting to be profitable, okay? And no, you have to understand at the first year, you are still falling onto all of this, okay? You are still falling onto all of this. After 1 year, you might be not over trading. You might have a plan already, or you might have a plan. You might still have false expectations because the social media is just so dirty with bullshit. You might still have false expectations, but you might have developed a plan already, okay, by your first year, but you might still be revenge trading when a trade doesn't play out. You might still be FOMOing, you might still whatever. On the third year, you might really start to understand, okay, it's very important that I manage my risk properly. It's very important that I only follow a plan, that I am patient enough to only stick to the plan, that I have the right leverage on my account, okay, and that you stick to it. But you will still be every once in a while falling onto any of these, okay? Then on the fourth year, you might really start to see consistency. You might really start to say, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now I know how the market works. Now I know myself. Okay, I've been logging my trades. I've been perfectioning my plan. And now you're starting to really see some profitability and some like real growth. Okay, and then in your fifth year, it's when you start growing exponentially. Let's put it that way. Okay. It's very important that you acknowledge this. This is a process. Okay, this is a process. Day one, you will be falling onto all of this. Year one, at the end of year one, you will be taking some of this off. Year two, more off. Year three, way more off. Year four, you will really start to see profitability. I know all of you are very hungry. All of you want to get things done quick, want to be profitable fast, believe this is easier than it really is, and want to skip the process. There is only one way to skip the process, okay? There is only one way to, instead of taking 5 years to be at this stage, being at the third year of this stage, okay? So cutting 2 years of practice. And this, the only way to achieve this, okay, is by really acknowledging all of this, okay, acknowledging all of these aspects and really working hard on not falling onto them, okay? Because most of the times you will have a plan, okay? You will have a plan, you will execute the plan, it might hit a stop loss, then you revenge trade without any plan or without any like real reasoning, and then you make money and you're like, oh, I'm actually getting this. I will start revenge trading from now on when a setup fails. This might work for you the first week, but on the long run, it will not work. Therefore, you need to just acknowledge all of these aspects, okay, and not fall into them. Let's just have a look at how you can acknowledge all of this. Let's see if I can move this somewhere else. Move this somewhere else. So how are you not going to, let's say, very simple. Let's just grab these four, let's grab these four aspects, okay? How are you going to overcome revenge trading, FOMOing, over trading, no patience, and not having a plan? How are you going to overcome this? Let's see in the chat, any ideas? How are you going to overcome this aspect? Let's see if anyone has any idea. Okay, some say stick to one trade a day, strong mindset. stick to your trading plan on your laptop, work. Structured approach, okay? At the end, to overcome this, it all funnels to the same thing, okay? Which is have a clear trading plan, okay? Have a clear trading plan. Let's see, where did my tools go? There they are. Have a clear trading plan. It all comes down to having a clear trading plan. What does this trading plan include? And I will also lay out as well my plan. Trades per day. So I place only one trade a day, maximum two, but always one trade. I will come on, let's put 1 to 2 trades a day. 1% maximum, okay? I can't skip this 1%. It's very few times I've lost more than 1% a day because I simply won't allow myself to, okay? So trades per day, mainly one, maximum two, and always inside a 1% risk, okay? Setups, the trading setups. Setup to trade. You already know my setups, you already know what I trade, you already know what I focus on. Patience, to overcome patience. Only trade when setups happen. Okay? Only trade when setups happen. What went on here? Only trade when setups happen. Entry and exits. Okay? Entry and exit. So for example, I always enter at zones. Okay? I always enter at zones. Here's my stop loss above the zone. I always try the stop loss is between 10 to 30 pips. And I will always take profits following risk to reward. I will always try to start taking profits at least at 1-to-1 risk to reward, okay? And what else? What else does a good trading plan include? What else should a good trading plan include? And money management, of course. Okay, and risk management, for example, okay, you have to understand if you are only placing one trade a day, okay, following your setup, okay, and you're only trading when the setups happen, you're not forcing trades, you have clear when to enter and when to exit, and you are managing your positions properly. Right here, we are actually covering all of this, okay? We are covering all of this. The true way to overcome all of this is just by having a good trading plan, okay? It's just by having a good trading plan. You have to understand revenge trading. I will not revenge trade because I'm only placing one trade a day, and I'm only trading if the setup is there, okay? I will not FOMO into any trade because I'm only trading from zones and when setups happen. I will not overtrade again because I'm only placing one trade a day. I will have patience because I know my sweet spot, I know where to trade from. Therefore, if price is not there, either I won't be trading or I will wait as long as it's needed for me to trade, okay? Plan, obviously you have your plan. Force expectations. By force expectations, here, as I said before, there are two branches to force expectations. One, which is the obvious one, getting rich quick. One, which is the obvious one, which is getting rich quick. And the other branch, which is something loads of traders struggle with, which is once you're inside the trade, okay, which is basically wanting unrealistic things to happen, okay? And these are the two main branches. So getting rich quick, you have to know of a start, you won't get rich, especially if it's your first year. If it's your second year, you won't get rich of trading, okay? You will not flip your $100 account, and you must know this, okay? Forget everything you see on social media. That's not realistic. That's not how trading works. Forget about it. You will not get rich quick, and you must know that. Secondly, wanting unrealistic things to happen. By this, I mean, you enter a trade, okay, you maybe snipe a trade and you're like, okay, I won't take profits because if price moves 300 pips and I haven't taken any profits, I will triple my account and I will make insane profits or whatever. No, forget about that. You need to have clear when you're entering, where, and your targets, okay? And that's it. And when you will be taking profits, when you will be cutting losses. Sometimes also people are like, okay, I will hold this losing trade because maybe price reverses and I get back into profits and I can profit from this trade. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to have clear what you're doing, where you're doing it from, and when you're doing so, okay? Being too emotional. Emotions, let's go on to the next one. Being too emotional. Emotions normally arise when you don't have a plan. When you're trading based of pure, how would I say this? Trading based of hope, okay? The market will just mutilate you in the long run. Therefore, being too emotional, it's again having a trading plan. If you know when to trade, where to trade from, you have your setups, you have your money management and so on, there's no room to be emotional, okay? Being too impulsive, again, if you have a clear trading plan, everything funnels down to having a good trading plan, okay? Everything simply funnels down to having a good trading plan. And then there's some things that with time, for example, discipline or trusting the setups, with time you will see that maybe you have a bad week, but if you are following the same setups which you know have worked for you in the past, then you will every time trust them more. This we go back to acknowledging the process. It's a process. At the beginning, you might doubt your setups, you might doubt your trading, but on the long run, you will see if you keep on practicing, keep on following the same strategy, you will start trusting it more. You will start becoming more disciplined. You will start overcoming all of this. Okay. Therefore, you need to know this is a process. You need to know this is not easy. Okay, it takes time. It takes loads of practice. You need to have a mindset of self-improvement. Okay, and this way you will see how you will overcome all of this. You will become way better, and you will really see your results and improve. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions up to now, guys, and I will answer them from what I've explained up to now. I could be going on for hours and hours and hours on mindset, on why traders fail, on whatever. But truly, guys, okay, it all comes down to having a clear trading plan. If you have a clear trading plan, you leave no room for emotions. You leave no room for over trading. You leave no room for revenge trading. You need to have a clear trading plan. You can follow mine. You can base your trading plan on mine, or you can just create whatever trading plan suits you. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly what I do whatsoever. You will realize with time that you can start off by having my plan, but then you will find out that you are a more aggressive trader or a trader that can't be that patient. Therefore, you might focus on setups on the 1 minute or 5 minute or whatever instead of focusing on the larger time frames or larger, 15 minute or whatever, like I do. Okay. What is my plan? Well, you already know my plan. Like you should already know my plan. You know the setups I trade. You know I trade I place one trade a day. I risk 1% and I have a 1 to 30 leverage. And I always enter at the tip of the zone. I have stop losses between 10 to 30 pips. And I take profits following risk to reward. That's pretty much my plan. We will get those notes. Yes, I will be uploading the lesson, guys, onto the vault. I will be uploading the lesson onto the vault. So yeah, pretty much, as I say, I could be going on for hours on mindset, but it's just boring, okay? You just have to understand that most of you, okay, as you are beginner traders, it is normal. Don't feel I'm attacking you whatsoever. You are falling for most of this stuff. Me, sometimes, few times, every time way less. I sometimes also fall for this, okay? I sometimes also FOMO into a trade. I sometimes also revenge into a trade, but I'm aware of it. And every day I try to make sure I do not fall into any of these traps. How to calculate leverage in lots? How to calculate leverage in lots? Somebody's asking. Doesn't make much sense to me. Is layering with a smaller lot size a better option than having one big entry? For me, no. If it works for you, then yes. This is what I say. It's loads of self-improvement. You have to get to know yourself, okay? Some people want straight layering. For me, it doesn't. I prefer one sniper entry, and that's it. How much do you close at one risk reward and two risk reward? So for example, this is the only place where my plan is not totally stipulated. When how much I close on every risk reward really depends on how I feel about the trade, okay? If I enter a trade, it's a great sniper entry, 0% drawdown, then at 1 to 1 risk reward, I might only close like a 20% of it and I place my stop loss on break even. At 2 risk reward, I might close a 30% or a 40% or a 50%. This is I just try to follow a microstructure and yeah, just look where the zones are. If I'm selling where the zones are, where the demand zones are, and just aim to target them and just close profits progressively. So that's the only place on my trading plan where I don't have extremely set rules, okay? But yeah, pretty much everything else, I really have it covered and I'm very strict with it. So don't want to get you all very bored, okay? The main takeaways from this mindset, now we will go on to looking at yesterday's setup, okay? Don't worry. But the main takeaways I want you to take home from this mindset is, hold on. So the main takeaways, okay, which you need to really work on, okay, is first of all, have a clear trading plan. Okay, have a clear trading plan. You need to have a clear trading plan, which includes everything, because it really all funnels down to having a trading plan. All of this with a good trading plan, you will not have any of these problems. Okay, if your plan is clear enough, you won't fall onto any of these. Okay, then obviously acknowledge the process. Okay, it's very hard. Okay, we are battling against ourselves in the market. Well, when we are trading, we are really battling ourselves. Obviously, there's loads of people in the market trading, moving the price, but really, in terms of mindset, we're just playing against ourselves. Acknowledge this is a process. At the beginning, it will be hard to get rid of these vices. Okay, let's call them vices. These are bad vices. It will be very hard to get rid of them. Therefore, you have to acknowledge this is a process. The first day, you won't be able to overcome all of them. But maybe in a year time, you're like, yo, at this point, I am not, at this point, I am disciplined. I am trusting my setups. I have good risk management. I sometimes overtrade. I sometimes revenge or FOMO, but I am patient. My plan is great, whatever. Acknowledge there is a process, okay? There's a process you have to go through. There's a process you have to go through, and you must acknowledge it, okay? And the last takeaway is have the right expectations, okay? Have the right expectations. You have to understand trading is not a get rich quick thing. That doesn't exist. In trading, the only person that will make you rich is you, yourself, your mindset, and your plan. Nobody else, no signals, no nothing. Only you will be the one that will make yourself rich, okay? So be aware of that and just understand this takes time, okay? You have to really, you have to see the bright side of learning, okay? Instead of the dark side. People will start losing money, depositing more, whatever, and they will start like closing themselves into a dark place. And no, that's not how it works. You need to have the right expectations and understand this is a learning process and it takes time, okay? And also have the right expectations when trading, okay? Have the right expectations when trading in terms of taking profits, not trying to hold trades, not expecting crazy things to happen because the market can always reverse at any given time and take you out. Therefore, pay yourself and do things properly, okay? One last thing I want to add, okay, and then we move on to the setups, is if you are struggling in terms of losing money or whatever, you need to understand that your approach to trading must be at the beginning, okay? At the beginning, trading is a hobby which costs money, okay? You have to view it like this. Trading is a hobby which costs money at the beginning, okay? It's on your hands for you to decide, will it cost me all of my savings or will it cost me a fraction of my savings, which I absolutely do not care losing? Okay, view it as a hobby which costs money at the beginning. You can either risk, if you don't know what you're doing, you can risk 1,000 euros per trade and lose them, or you can risk €1 per trade and lose that €1, which at the end of the day, €1 is nothing compared to 1,000 until you learn, until you get comfortable with all of this, with following the plan, with overcoming all of these aspects. So treat trading as a hobby which costs money, and very important, try that it costs you at the beginning the least amount of money possible, okay? Can I have a plan with 10 trades a day? For example, if I trust the process, somebody's asking, you can. Obviously, you can. If it works for you, you can. But that's, again, setting false expectations, wanting to overtrade, wanting to expose yourself very much to the market, and that's not on the long run. The best traders in existence, the best traders, the billionaire traders, might take one trade a year, one good trade a year, and that's it. And that's it. When there's a certain economic event or when there's something happening, they will only wait for that and just take one trade a year or maybe one trade a month. And those are really the most profitable traders. Something you must also understand. The longer you're exposed to the market, the higher your chances are of losing, okay? You have to understand the markets are designed to trick you. The longer you're exposed in the market, okay, the higher your chances are of losing. Therefore, it's always best to stay aside, have a plan which gives you, which you know the setup has a very high probability, and just wait for it to pay out and execute when it happens, and that's it. Okay. So yeah, this I think wraps up all of what I wanted to say of mindset. If anyone has any question or wants me to cover any other topic on mindset, let me know now in the chat. As I said, it all funnels down to having a clear trading plan, understanding this is a process, okay, which takes time, and that you really have the right expectations. So let me know if you have any question. Now we will move on to yesterday's setup, which we took, just breaking it down. So if it's clear, let me know as well. Just say clear. If it's not, or if you have any question, also let me know, and we will move on, okay? All clear, perfect. Perfect, okay, so let's move on. Yeah, guys, just understand that this is a process. You don't want to cut the process. You can cut a bit of it, okay? But the only way you will cut the process is by really acknowledging all of this, acknowledging the market is designed to trick you, and really working extremely hard to overcome all of this, okay? That's the only way you can cut a bit the process, a bit, okay? The process is long, the process is never ending. So yeah, just have all of this in mind. Make sure you follow a clear trading plan, which includes all of this I've mentioned, and yeah, acknowledge the process and have the right expectations, okay? So now let's move on to yesterday's setup. Let's break it down. Gold is just moving around this area. So yesterday's sell was, I think, this candle right here, right? So very straightforward, without losing any time. Let's just break it down. Let's just break it down, okay? So there's a few reasons why I said it was mid-risk, okay? If you remember, I said it was mid-risk. There was few reasons why I said so. Number one being price right here is bullish, okay? Price right here is bullish on the 1 hour time frame. It's a bit of a counter trend trade, okay? Price is bullish on the 1 hour time frame. Market structure is bullish, okay? And secondly, if we now go into the 15-minute, mainly it was a 15-minute analysis, no other time frames, okay? We had the session liquidity, Asian liquidity right up here, which price, after giving the move, it then went right back up to take out the Asian liquidity, the New York liquidity, and then came right back down. So without losing any time, let's just break it down, okay? Like always, I'm going to be fast because it's always the same. Let's see, I have the confluences somewhere here. Let me just add this. Market structure. In this case, as I said, the 1 hour was bullish. That's one of the reasons why I thought it was mid-risk. But if we are just focusing on this area, and market structure is bearish, okay? See, price came up, okay, higher high, higher low. Here price failed to create a higher high, okay? So we could say it's a lower high, and then price did a lower low, which was the change of character. So market structure, bearish, okay, just accounting for this area. Just keep it simple, keep it fast. Fib, in this case, I grabbed it from the high to the low. Then we are looking for supply and demand inside the Fib area. this point, it's already boring explaining over and over the setups, but I know it's important and you guys like it. So supply and demand, liquidity. Yeah, there's liquidity right here. Okay. Then moving on to the extra confluence. At this point, okay, we already have a trade. We have the forming confluences. We already have a trade here. Now we're looking for the extra ones. So SVP, session volume profile, was not lining up. Sessions, the session high was right up here, as I was saying before. That's why I considered it mid-risk, because we had the forming confluences, but the session high was left right above. Session high was left right above, and imbalance, we did have an imbalance right here to be mitigated in between these areas. We had an imbalance, okay? So we had 5 of the 7 confluences. Let's just play it out. And this is how it played out. One thing I did wrong is I closed 70% here. Once price took out this liquidity, this is always a great target. 80% out at least, okay? 80% out at least, because as you see, price took the liquidity, closed above it, and then shot to the upside, and then price targeted the takeout of Asian and New York liquidity, okay? Very, very straightforward. Like always, trading exactly the same. This was clearly an institutional move. It's great because when following these confluences, you really get a sense of the footprint, okay, as to where the orders are, where the big players are placing their orders. Then, as soon as price took out the liquidity from the bottom, the big players started buying. But you can see this candle, okay, in 15 minutes, price moved 100 pips, which is the same that price did on the prior 7 hours, okay? Purely retail, purely institutional, okay? So this, we know, has been a great setup, and mainly because of that, because you see this candle is a big boy candle, it's a big player candle. But it already tested the zone, it did not test the zone. Somebody says it already tested the zone, it did not test the zone. Where? What's your fifth setting? Guys, I can't believe you're making these questions. I explain this on every single lesson. These are my FIB. I only look at this at 76%. That's everything I look for, and that's it. On the arrow, price did not test the zone. Price left this imbalance in between. Price left this imbalance, it did not test the zone by few pips. How did you get the liquidity under the Asian high? Like, how would you identify it? Go over the last lesson. Go over the last lesson on the vault. We covered liquidity. It's very boring for me to always explain this concept. I've explained them multiple times. Remember, trendline liquidity, support and resistance liquidity, above or below our supply or demand zone. Very basic, like always. Go over the last lesson, you will see it. If not, I will just spend 20 more minutes explaining it, and it's just boring for everyone. Is my sell zone for today still valid? Let's see. What time is it? 12:30. Let's see what time the news are. Are they at 2:30? CPI is at 2:30 usually. 2:30 my time, sorry. Hold on, let me just see. CPI, GDP, true, GDP, not CPI. It's at 2:30 in 2 hours. I will be monitoring the zone, okay? I will be monitoring the zone for potential setups. It's a valid zone, but I don't want to be, really don't want to be risking that much this week. Would have been great if price would have got us into the trade during London opening. But yeah, we have most of the confluences. It could be a valid. Like to me, it looks totally valid. It looks totally valid, but on a major news event day, anything can happen. Do I keep my sell or buy limits during news? Never. Never. Unless it's not a major news and my pending order is 200 pips away. Then I might keep it because I know the chances of price going there are slim. But during NFP, CPI, GDP, whatever, I do not keep my pending orders. That's just gambling. That's just gambling. So do you have any question, guys? Do you have any question? And here again, this is a great example of not having false expectations, okay? Because you might enter this sniper trade and you're like, no, I won't close profits, okay? I'm up 2%, but if price comes down to take this low, I will be making a 20%, it will be crazy, blah, blah, blah. That's false expectations because this can happen. Price can take out the liquidity, came to test this area right here, and then just shoot up, okay? Therefore, it's important that you are aware that price can always reverse at any time. Therefore, take profits following risk to reward and protect yourself always, okay? Why are we looking for sales today? At the moment I am monitoring, I am not trading the zone aggressively, okay? I am not trading it aggressively, I am monitoring it because again, as I've been saying, we have all of this liquidity above, which don't want to give any idea, but it wouldn't surprise me at all that the news takes out all of this liquidity. The news acts as the catalyst to take out all of that liquidity, so watch out, okay? And yeah, I think this is it for today's lesson, guys. I will upload it onto the vault. Now we will go over the elite like always, in case anyone is interested, because I receive plenty of messages and I just can't keep up with all of the messages. I'm trying to program a chatbot, okay? I'm trying to program a chatbot to answer all of your questions, just teach him all of my strategy and everything, so he can answer your questions. Hopefully I can do that soon. About funded accounts, talk about prop firms, yeah. The only thing I want to tell you about prop firms, okay, guys? Where did I take the notes before? The only thing you need to really understand about prop firms, okay, is that if you are in this part of the process, or whatever, forget about prop firms, okay? The way prop firms work is they make money from challenges. They want you to fail the challenge. They know that people in this part of the process are wanting to make quick money, and they are making these challenges designed in a way that will make you fail because they are totally aware that you are in this part of the process, that you still haven't mastered these aspects, okay? And that you will fail the challenges. Therefore, if you're at this part of the process, if you're not able to even manage risk on your $100 account or $500 account or whatever, what on earth makes you think that you will be able to manage 100K or 200K or whatever? It won't work out, guys. This is everything on funded accounts I wanted to say, okay? You must master your trading first and then move into funded accounts, okay? People that are taking funded accounts without mastering this, without proving to themselves for a long period of time that they can trade properly, that they can follow the rules and so on, would simply fail these challenges. It's how the prop firms are designed, it's what the prop firms want you to do, and that's simply how it happens. That's simply what happens, okay? So just understand, guys, that don't, again, comes back again to acknowledging the process. Don't want to skip steps. Don't want to start from here and jump all the way to here. It doesn't work like that, okay? There's a process. Most of the people taking funded challenges are people that are in this spectrum, in this part of the spectrum. And that's why prop firms are so profitable, because they know everyone has false expectations, they know everyone is falling into this, and they are just taking all of your money, okay? That's pretty much it on prop firms, okay? You must understand that prop firms want you to fail. Prop firms are totally aware of all of this, okay? Their business model, the business model is based on all of this, okay? It's based on traders that are falling onto all of this, and that's how they make money. Therefore, don't try to cut it, okay? Make sure you can manage your risk, you can trust your setups, follow your plan on your $1,000 account for at least 2-3 months, okay? And then move into the prop firms. Don't start with the prop firm, because that's what they want you to do. You will fail, you will give them your money, and that's it, okay? So is this clear, guys? I know this sounds a bit discouraging, but it's the truth. Somebody has to tell you the truth, okay? I want the best for my community. Therefore, as I said, it might sound discouraging, but this is the truth, okay? Don't be fooled by all of the marketing you see out there, by all of the bullshit you see on social media. Just don't fall into the traps. I've done 2 years, seem to break even, but now improving thanks to you. It's still too early for funded. It depends how you feel, okay? As I say, if you've been able to manage your risk properly on your account for a while, for at least 2, or just maybe not be crazy profitable, okay? Maybe you are up in 3 months 1%, but you have always been risking a 1%, you have always been trading exclusively following your plan, and so on, then yes, okay? Then yes, you can start considering a funded account, okay? But again, if you're break even, why do you want to go into a funded account if you're still at the stage of being break even? This only tells me you want to make money fast, and that's simply, again, how this doesn't work, okay? What account size did I started trading? When I started at the beginning, 500 bucks, I don't know, 1,000, whatever. Just small amounts. In my opinion, practicing and losing your personal $1,000, why not take $49 funded challenge and practice 2 or 3 times? This is also smart, okay? If you do it this way, it's smart, okay? practice with $49 accounts, you have access to 5,000, I think, right, or whatever, and make sure you're managing risk and following the rules. This makes sense, okay? Problem is, because if you do this way, you are following what I was sharing before, okay? You are really acknowledging the process and taking your time and so on. Problem is, people start maybe their first funded account, they go for the 200K without even knowing how to trade, without even having a plan, and so on. And that challenge cost them, I don't know, 2,000, and they burn it. And goodbye to the challenge and to the 2,000. If you do it that way, it's a smart way, practicing with $49 funded accounts, trying to make them last as much as you can. That makes sense. So I believe that that's okay. Okay. Because if you're doing that, okay, if you are practicing with $49 funded accounts, you are not setting yourself false expectations. Okay. So it totally makes sense. I like it. So you can do that. But again, as I said, it all comes down to just this. Just make sure the process, you follow the process, and you are smart. Okay, you take smart decisions, and that's it. You can also practice on the FTMO free trial. Yes. Yes, you can also practice. For me, a key aspect for me was really trading with real money, really getting to know myself, really getting to know when I was getting emotional, really getting to simply really getting to know myself. And you get to that stage trading money. I was stupid enough to trade everything I had, like a stupid asshole. And being clear, if I was to see myself now in the past, I would tell him, try to lose the least amount of money possible until you really understand your trading and you start to see progress and you really start to master all of what I've laid out here. Then move on to larger sums. I've opened a 10K funded account on the site to test your strategy. I'm at 2% from now, Monday. Nice. But free trial, you will not know your emotions exactly. You need to have something, you need to be risking something to really get to know yourself, okay? Now it's in your hands to risk a lot and be stupid and risk a lot and most likely lose a lot, or it's in your hands, okay, to risk the least amount possible, but to start getting a sense of trading real money, losing real, winning real, mastering the plan, mastering yourself, your mindset, and so on. Yeah, guys, pretty much this is it, okay, for today's lesson. If anyone wants to know more about Elite, which is the add-on course, okay, it's an extra course where we cover everything which I share in the Vault ebook and so on. On the Elite, I simply dive deeper into it and with quizzes and so on. Therefore, if anyone is interested in Elite, let me know and I will just explain again. If not, you are all free to leave. Let me share the link to Elite with you. So this is the link to Elite. Normal price is 290 euros. And your price, okay, and your price is 150. Again, insane amount of value. Okay, here I just cover all of the aspects that have to do with my trading. If you really like my strategy, you really want to master it, this is it. So yeah, have a look at it. Once you enter the link I shared, make sure you click on outline. Okay, you will be on about. Click on outline and you will be able to preview it. As I said, it's insane amount of value. you get quality videos, you get real-life examples with slides. You get a quiz on every single section. Obviously, I answered this randomly, and so on. For every single aspect, you also get extra sections like not falling into traps, entry stop loss, multi-time frame trading, finding the best zones. I also cover things like entry models, quiz on entry models, internal versus external liquidity, master risk management, developing your trading plan, and so on. Okay, it's great value. Just check it out. If anyone wants to take it one step further in terms of the content, the structure of the content, and really mastering my strategy, this is the most I can give you. Okay, for you to master my strategy is this course. Like literally covers everything. It's literally the most, as much as I can do for you to really master my strategy. So yeah, this is it. This is it for today, guys. Now I will process today's lesson and upload it onto the vault. And yeah, I will keep on monitoring price today. Let's see if we get a good trade. And yeah, guys, enjoy your day. Again, we have CPI in an hour and 45 minutes. You don't want to be being stupid, okay? Let's be all smart and yeah, simply not FOMO. Let's see if the opportunity presents us, then we will be trading. If not, we will sit on our hands, and that's it, okay? So yeah, guys, you're welcome. Thanks to you for joining. Enjoy your day. I say GDP this afternoon, watch out. Let's wait for the opportunity to present. If not, we are sitting on our hands. And yeah, I will be uploading now the lesson. Have a great day, guys. I'm ending now. Goodbye.